Hey guys, Kellen here with Unstoppable Fitness. I'm just finishing up my workout for the evening. Guess I wanted to give you some warm-up and powerlifting tips for bench. From what I'm told from the guys that I know, I've got a freakishly high bench for my weight in most powerlifting stuff. So 325 in competition at I think I was 185 on that day. Anyway, so tips I can give you. And I was really just thinking about the ways that I warm up and the ways that I stay injury-free. So I'm going to do a video on tennis elbow and golf elbow because those are two things that have afflicted me. Those are lateral and medial epicondylitis, and those are going to be on your forearm, right? So let's see if I can show you. One is going to be on the inside here, and the other is going to be on the outside. And I always get them confused, so I'm not even going to pretend to try. But when I had started getting pain and really hard pain there, I looked it up and it was like tennis elbow and golfer's elbow. Like I didn't do either at the time, right? So I call them, and I got this from Kelly Starrett, but bencher's elbow and pull-up elbow. So the reason I'm talking about this is because I didn't even really think about it, but I've been doing this for a while. The way that I solved that, I'll go into detail in the other video, but I used voodoo floss, I used proteolytic enzymes, as well as heat and exercise. So rather than RICE, which is rest, ice, compression, and elevation, I used what spells meth. And I don't want to say that too many times on the video because YouTube will think that I'm making a video about something else, but it's movement, enzymes, traction, and heat. And the idea behind that is that RICE was developed to get kids back onto the field, to get athletes and kids back onto the field as soon as possible. So, meaning you get an injury in a game and you've got to be back out there 90 seconds later. And the idea is stop all of the inflammation that you can so that somebody can continue to perform, and you numb it, right? Well, that's great for when you need to be right back on the field, but what if you've got time to heal? The idea is that the inflammation is an important part of the healing process. It's an important part of what your body's doing to heal. It's putting a lot of fluids and into that area so that it can flush things and change things and all that. But so adding the movement, the enzymes and all that helps to speed up that natural process. So anyway, that's the philosophy I've followed for a lot of my injury recovery and prevention. If you've got a small little something going on, a little niggling thing at the end of a workout, like I'll try and either roll it out or use SMR or work it out with small or body weight exercises or something. Anyway, totally off tangent. But thinking about the things that I do for tennis and golfer's elbow, I massage. Like I'll do trigger point massage into that area, all the time. So I'll do it in between each set, while benching. And I didn't even realize I was doing it, but I'm hitting those points for the tennis elbow and golfer's elbow just with my thumb, really getting a trigger in there until it starts to feel nice and juicy and good. And so that'll be the first warm-up sets or something. If you are starting to bench heavy, put that in, see how it feels. Also, another big piece for me is balancing out the push and the pull. That has always been a really important factor for me through my lifting career, since my learning days when I would get injured because I just wanted to work my chest and all that. But every set of bench that I do is supersetted with pull-ups or or I can't remember what they're called. Aussie push-ups is what we used to call them, but you know, where you've got a barbell and you pull your chest to it from down under. So every set will be paired with that, and then in my accessory work, which would be like, so I did bench press with the barbell. I'm on Jim Wendler's 5-3-1 program right now. That's my go-to strength building program, unless I get into something really specific. But right now I'm just generally building strength, not really focusing on a time frame or anything like that. So it's kind of my go-to. So with that, I'll do a lot of accessory work after the fact. Generally it'll be like dumbbell bench, you know, and then dumbbell rows, and I'll go heavier on the rows in the accessory work than I will on the bench, because I'm trying to make sure to maintain that balance as best I can. With the heavy benching, the pull-ups are okay. They're not in the same line, so it's not necessarily ideal, but it's still good to balance that. And then what I like to do is, as I mentioned, add in the heavy rows to compensate. So those are a couple things for benching, powerlifting benching, like maintenance, and learn to engage your abs and push your heels into the ground when you're benching. Bench is not just a chest exercise, it is a full body exercise. And a lot of people I'll see will be struggling with heavy weight and their feet will be dancing all over. And like, what they don't realize is that you have to brace your body the whole way through. Like, you're adding tension everywhere in your body in order to get as much push as you can. You know, and they've done plenty of studies on literally just clenching your jaw can help to increase your squat over a certain amount, right? And like, those studies are looking at, can you engage other muscular structures that will affect the prime movers that you're working. So take that out and like extrapolate that to bench, and then add in the fact that when you really brace your core, you're adding in stability for those prime movers to work, and it's just something you got to do. So practice really setting your base, getting and digging your heels in, and push it. You know, I build my lats as much as I can, because those are also helping to support my bench. There was more I wanted to cover, but it's that post-workout bliss. I'm kind of fading fast. Got to go get some eats. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you're having a great day, and have a good workout. This has been Kellen with Unstoppable Fitness. Stay strong, stay healthy. Catch you later. Bye.